representing TMVJ, Joe Lee.
Bernice's Educational School Aid Center, located at 2516 West 4th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Bernice's Educational School Aid Center is a multifaceted facility that provides child care and enrichment services to children ages 6 weeks all the way through college. Child care services are provided Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Our children have very wholesome experiences. In our school age program, our children enjoy going to the different activities that we provide during the summer. At our center, we focus on creating an atmosphere where infants can enjoy safety, comfort, and unconditional love. They are provided quiet rest time, proper nutrition, and stimulation by nurturing interactions. Their every need is satisfied. It all depends on how much money we can raise to be able to take care of our children. One thing that families and the parents and the community can do is to donate some money for our children, because field trips are extremely expensive and we need our children to be able to go on field trips. Our little tag for Bernice's Educational School Aid Center is a place where infants and toddlers achieve academic success.
I would be upset if it was something like that was going on in Wilmington, because I work here, I live here, my kids are here. It's just crazy.
In Baltimore, it's just, I think a really sorry example of how, if you neglect, an entire portion of the population for decades and decades, and you send them to bad schools and you don't give them access to, proper job opportunities, and families don't have opportunities to take care of their children. This is, this is the product of all those years of neglect. So.
I feel as though cops just ain't trustworthy nowadays. I seen yesterday a girl got shot and it took literally a whole hour for the ambulance just to get there. They'd rather bring dogs, you feel what I'm saying? They brought 4 dogs before they brought the ambulance, and when they brought the ambulance, the girl was already dead. So I feel as though cops got grimy nowadays and they ain't trustworthy. And as far as the cops killings go, I feel as though they letting them get away with it. I looked it up the other day. There was a lot of cold cases going on, and the majority of them was from cops. So I feel as though the cops just ain't trustworthy.
What I think is that it's wrong that the police shot the young boy, but I think it's also, well, me and my grandma were talking about, it's predicted in the Bible that this stuff is going to happen. We're going to have war. Right now I feel like our country's going through a civil war, and it's all natural. Not everybody's going to get along, but I'm pretty sure everything is going all right now with, well, I think it's more of kind of races between blacks and whites. I really do. I feel like they think since the cops shot the black boy, now everybody's against the cops. Well, cops shoot anybody. It doesn't matter if they're black or white. I feel like it was just what he was doing at the time that got him shot. Maybe he was acting up and the cops had to.
Well, I feel very blessed that the Bloods are coming together as a family and they're trying to support the nonviolence down there. Me being a Blood myself, I'm very thankful to my family and what they're trying to do to help the police and be peaceful. So I'm very, very excited for what's happening.
The riot part happens, but our beloved government put people in these positions to raise all this hell, hoping to make the division even wider that already exists.
All bless each other. Always God bless each other.
So faith is consistent, especially as a
social media.
that was happening.
example, I've been a health researcher for more than 20 years. And when you look at the number of vaccines that are given to babies and that we take as we matriculate through school, and then you look at the diseases that we're suffering now, the chronic diseases, the infectious diseases, then vaccination is the place that we have to start. It has flown under the radar screen because most people who talk about health don't talk about vaccines, and even those who talk about health talk about vaccines in a favorable light, yet they don't look at the ingredients in vaccines. So now with today's epidemic of autism and all the diseases affecting children, then we have to look at what is the common denominator of all of these plights that affect, children, and vaccination is that common denominator. In the workshops that I've done over the years, the workshop that I do is called Understanding the Dangers of Vaccines or Vaccination. Many times, actually every time after my presentation's over, I'll get some woman, maybe some mother or grandmother, who has a story to tell about how their child was, responded after they received the vaccines, how they changed. So it's not just in a brazen at the injection site, but there's a drastic behavior change, a neurological change. And I've had women, with tears in their eyes. And then on top of that, the internet has a lot of, particularly on YouTube, have a lot of different experiences that people have shared with others about how they responded after they received vaccines. Anyone claiming that vaccines have helped them need to prove it. When you look at the ingredients in vaccines, mercury, aluminum, formaldehyde, polysorbate 80, genetically engineered pathogens, you have to prove that that vaccine has really helped you because the ingredients themselves spells trouble. So I think what people, they believe they have a different way of judging things, but if they judge it by the biochemistry and by biology, then there's no way that they can claim that vaccines have helped them, at least not vaccines that have those ingredients. And most vaccines have those ingredients. First of all, we have to understand the dangers of vaccination, and we need to know where it is that vaccination begins. For example, if you are giving birth to your child in the hospital, well, that's where vaccination starts. Pediatrician visits, that's where it continues. And then now the school systems are allowing children to be vaccinated without the consent of their parents. So we have to have our antennas up and make it clear that we don't want that medical procedure involved in our child. That's how we can navigate through vaccination, but it begins with knowing where it is, because a lot of people say, well, I don't take vaccines, my children never been vaccinated, but they don't know that if they're in the public school system or any systems of this world, that they're prone to be afflicted by that. So we just need to know it inside and out, and not just make blanket statements, but truly know all the avenues where vaccines come.
With one question, who is in prison and the age and how long, led to me then writing brothers in prison, find out how they were, giving them encouragement. I would know a little bit about them from their family members, because they would come talking about how that young man was as a little boy, his talents, he was an artist. Most of the guys, they love to write, and also that too was part of the connect, the prison, the writing, writing also being therapeutic. Many of the brothers were doing the writing, and that all combined led in 2005, it led to Letters to Miss M, where I met a young man after many, many years of meeting young men, talking to family members, getting to know them, writing them, encouraging them, sending them Christmas cards, etc., etc. That turned into wanting to do a little bit more, that when they came home, they would have something economically sound, something that would keep them from going back into doing what they used to do in the streets. Many of the men who write to me, they love to write. You know, they all love to write, which is a perfect match. So I started to target these brothers, and I said, well, okay, if you are a writer, then I'll learn the field of publishing because I want to do something. And maybe I can publish your book, and when you come home, you're a published author. You can sell your book. I can show you how to publish. And it was, to me, it was actually the easiest thing for me to do. I didn't know anything about publishing, but I think about a year or two prior, we had published a book for a young man by the name of Leandre Prince, Bloody Money, and that was trial and error. So after we did that, I got my hand wet into publishing and, you know, the different points and what I should and should not do. The type of relationships we have in the household, you know, if it's volatile and violent and unhealthy, that affects the child also. So what do? They head outside. They head in the streets. They head to the streets. Another thing is, you know, abuse. Many of the men, to be honest, I've met many men who were sexually abused, you know, by people that they knew in the community, in the household. Friends of family members, or sometimes by family members, which led them mentally, psychologically on a different journey. They left the house. They're not protected, so they leave the house. You have the ones who they lack education. The school system have failed them. They head to the streets. You know, I'm going to take care of myself the best way I know how, which they end up either selling drugs, getting involved in mischievous dealings. And there's so many reasons. So many reasons. I don't think that any mother, I'm a mom, I didn't birth my child to sit in a 6x9 cell or to make bad choices. You know, I look at my son and my daughter, you know, I school them every day and they're older, but still, you know, as a mother, you want the best for your child. As a father, you're a new father, you want the best for your child. I think when I started seeing the children and how they suffer because dad isn't around. They suffer psychologically, emotionally, most important, economically. You know, dad isn't there. So, you know, it keeps you at a certain level. At not all cases, sometimes the level of poverty, you know, hits a child where two parents are in the house, more money coming in, more opportunities, be it if it's education or living conditions. And I think that has really affected me the most. The children, without that leadership.